So this is the time when we have sharing from a community member, and I've been trying to figure out how to introduce this person today. And after much thought, I've decided this is how to introduce this person. It's me. I could have gone on and on, but that's coming next. So today I want to talk about Unity Principles number 3 and number 5 and how they have worked in my life. Thoughts held in mind and taking action. Some of you may not know that I was raised by a first-generation Greek-American father. When I was in junior high and high school, and I decided I wanted to take public speaking courses, my father, with his Greek heritage, informed me that the blood of Demosthenes was running through my veins. I did not know who Demosthenes was. And back then, you couldn't Google him. I had to go to an encyclopedia, you remember those things? And found out, of course, that Demosthenes was the famous Greek orator who practiced his enunciation by speaking with rocks in his mouth.
Oh.
Now, I did not embrace the rock part, but the idea of an orator's blood running through my veins really took hold. A thought held in mind. Well, years later, I was at a team retreat where our fabulous facilitator, who taught me so much, said one day, I want each and every one of you to say something out loud that you are planning for the future. Something big. I took a deep breath and I said, I want to be a national level speaker on the dental continuing education circuit. Oh. My team met that with that. Which sort of patted my enthusiasm down. But I had taken action. So now I had committed and I was in it. So what followed was months of effort, truly months of effort, where I sent out letters to all the program directors from dental meetings all over the country with my fabulous resume, my programs, the content, everything. And the result I got from that, the bounty that I reaped from that effort, was not one reply. Yeah. It was then that I discovered that in order to speak at a major dental meeting, someone from that meeting must have heard you speak to be invited. Well, that sounds like a catch-22. How are you supposed to get the first gig, right? So I thought, okay, well, that's that. Well, as life would have it, it turns out that many of the local dental societies in Centralia and Chehalis and Aberdeen and Tacoma will have specialists come in to do a short presentation. And so I was invited by the Grays Harbor Dental Society to do a presentation. And of course, it had to be on a dark, rainy December night. So with no GPS, off to Aberdeen to find the restaurant, which I could not find, until I found an address and I went too far. So I turned around, came back, and remember, this is how far back this goes. I set up my carousel to do the presentation. I drew a wonking crowd of 6 people, did my half-hour presentation, and when I asked, are there any questions, it looked like I had hit the exit button because everybody just ran out of the room. So I went, okay, well, you know, I gave it my best, and dreams die hard. But what happened next changed my whole life, because one of the 6 came back in, and he said, that was a fantastic presentation. You should be on the Washington State Dental Meeting program. I said, I would love to be on the program, but you know what? Like, in order to get on the program, somebody from that organization must have heard you speak, which I understand the rule. At that point, he introduces himself and says, I am the current president of the Washington State Dental Association. And I want you to call Ruth and tell her, I want you on next year's program. At 8:01 the next morning, I called Ruth, and she said, if he wants you on the program, you're on the program. So a year and a half later, I'm standing at the Washington Convention Center doing my initial big dental meeting presentation. And unbeknownst to me, scouts come into the room to check out what they call new talent, or they hope it's new talent. and because they're always looking for new speakers. And as a result of that presentation in Seattle, I immediately got invitations to speak in Vancouver, BC, Kansas City, and New Orleans for the next couple of years. So once you're on the circuit, scouts are everywhere, and I polished my programs, and they became better, and they became well attended. And over the next 25 years as a speaker on the circuit, I have now spoken at just under 300 meetings. I have done over 600 presentations, most of them 3 hours long, so this talk is a push. And I also became a part-time instructor at the University of Washington. Wow. I can literally, as a result of my presentations, I can literally give you the names of 3 people who have chosen to go into the specialty because of what I said. Wow. But more important to me is I believe that children potentially in many places are getting better care now because of what I talk about and how I do it. My talks have taken me all over the US, all over Canada. It has taken me to Germany, Mexico, Kuwait, Moscow, that would be Russia, not Idaho, and Australia. Wow. So as a result of my speaking, I believe that I have shown that the principle of the thought held in mind, the blood of Demosthenes running through my vein, that's number 3, and taking action, that's number 5, has had the result of benefiting many dentists and I hope thousands of children by nurturing lives of freedom and joy. Freedom for the children of fear of dentistry, and joy for the dentist who previously feared treating children. Thank you.